All right, well, hello everybody. Welcome to Reddit Story Saturday. I'm your host Nick, and today is our special Valentine's Day show. And in honor of that, I brought along my good friend Christian to read some of these stories with us.
Hello guys, I'm Christian, and I can't wait to read some goofy stories.
Ain't that the truth? We got a whole lot of stories. We got some coming from AITA, some coming from TIFU. You know, a whole lot of crazy stories. So if you guys are interested, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's go ahead and get started with our first story. All right, this first story comes from AITA. Am I wrong for sending my girlfriend too many Valentine's Day flowers and making her friend's husband look bad? To explain where I'm coming from here, I need to establish two things. One, I have a high-paying job that often requires I drop everything to travel without notice. It is infuriating at times, but I get paid well, so I've learned to live with it. Two, my girlfriend loves flowers more than anything. I get it. Most girls love flowers, but they are her favorite thing in the world. She literally makes me stop the car when we're driving just so she can take pictures of pretty flowers. Early in our relationship, I had to miss something important without notice. To make up for it, I sent her 3 dozen flowers, or 3 dozen roses. She loved it, and, probably as a joke, told me I had to set the bar, and I had better always send her 3 dozen roses if I was going to let her down. We've been together 3 years since then, and I've always sent 3 dozen roses whenever we would be apart. It's a tradition, and we both love it. On to the dilemma. Girlfriend got bad news about a family member's health and headed back to her hometown a couple weeks ago. I couldn't join her. Her 2 sisters came back as well with their husbands. Valentine's Day came around, and although it wasn't my fault we weren't together, I ordered a gift of 3 dozen roses and candy and a stuffed animal. Day of, I got an alert from FedEx of a delayed shipment and panicked. It broke my heart to think she wouldn't get her flowers that day, so I called around the local florist and found one who could deliver them for a fee. I sent another gift pack of 3 dozen roses. Turns out FedEx managed to deliver the original package. Girlfriend ended up with 6 dozen roses, 2 cards, 2 boxes of chocolates, and a teddy bear. She joked that I now raised the bar, and she expects no less than 6 dozen roses anytime we're apart. All jokes aside, I could tell she really appreciated the trouble I went through. The next day, I had heard from her sister's husbands. They were furious with me, saying that I made them both look awful. Turns out one of them brought his wife a leftover bouquet of half-dead tulips, and the other didn't get his wife anything at all. I guess they were both going to use the commotion as an excuse. My girlfriend ended up sharing her roses with both of her sisters so they could all feel special, but it was clear that they were all from me. My instinct was to take a victory lap, but my girlfriend's mom and dad called, explaining that they thought I should apologize. While they appreciate me always making romantic gestures, I can't afford to do so while their other daughters' husbands can't. They see where things are going and assume we'll all be family soon, and it would be a great idea for me to make peace with the other two. That's true in a sense that I really didn't mean to do anything to their detriment, but I also never expected them to be such terrible partners, and they thought it would be okay if I be okay to not even bring their wives flowers on Valentine's Day. But maybe I'm wrong for holding them to the standard I've always set for my relationship. Am I wrong?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
I think if you get upset about someone else doing, like, you can get upset about somebody else showing you up, but don't make it their problem. Step your own game up. With that. That's crazy.
Okay. The thing that makes it really funny to me is that instead of just not getting your wife something, the first husband decided to bring half dead flowers that was left over from, like, I assume like a Walmart or something. I'm
Exactly.
like, so you didn't even try?
Bro
You
didn't
didn't
even like
oh yeah,
like
that's
all right. I am someone who hates entitlement, right? But if you're gonna get somebody something, at least make it clear that, hey, I'm sorry, this was all they had left. I would hope my girlfriend would appreciate that. But to be mad that someone else went through their own efforts and struggles and showed you up, that's gonna be a conversation for you and your wife later, but I don't need to hear about all that.
because here's the thing too. For this to be like a 3 year tradition that they've been rolling around where he just sends her flowers whenever he's out, that makes me think that there's no way that the girlfriend has never told her sisters this, right? Her
Yeah,
sisters have
that's
had to
true.
know about this.
That's 100% true. Making it clear that, hey, this isn't even something off. And for them to be upset about something that honestly should have been a good thing is just, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. I think this is just sad in the fact that these guys couldn't understand that I didn't make you look bad. I just made you realize that you weren't doing enough for your wife. And this is his girlfriend. This isn't even his
Yeah.
wife yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel so bad that this guy feels like he's like in the wrong.
Yeah, I don't think this guy should ever think he's in the wrong for this situation in particular because it's
Yeah, I'm like, what?
good hearts are good hearts, but man, that's rough.
Oh, that's awful. Well, let's read some comments, see what some others had to say. Um, First comment says, yeah, this is a hard, not the problem. I'm sorry your sister's wives have such terrible husbands. It's not your fault. But by the way, you're now a part of official Reddit lore. So we expect no less than 6 dozen roses anytime you two are apart, or anytime you post. That's a stupid comment.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
I mean, yeah, it's just that you have terrible husbands. Second comment says there are 8 adults in the situation. One of them sent flowers. One of them received flowers. 4 of them are jealous and stole flowers that weren't meant for them. 2 of them are trying to enable the jealousy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I was taking. That's what I was meaning by that. Is like it feels like they more kind of threw this on themselves than anything, and he was just chilling. You know, that's rough.
And they bring.
Here's one. Oh, what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's one that I found, and I think this reigns true. Romantic gestures don't have to cost a lot of money. The leftover bouquet of half-dead tulips probably did cost as much as a fresh one. Your girlfriend's parents defend lazy behavior. That's it. Yes, 72 roses are a ton, but the wives probably already be happy with one nice rose, maybe their favorite normal prize chocolate. That's the thing. Is like they would have been fine regardless. I feel like the guys are really just blowing this out of proportion. Um, and who knows? I'm not their wife,
Mm.
clearly, but I think it's funny. They were like, "Oh my gosh, these these half dead tulips don't compare to the 72 roses my future brother-in-law is gonna have." Hmm. Let's go make it his problem. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's funny.
and I don't know if they ever brought it up to their wives because it doesn't sound like they did. It sounds like they only brought it up with the OP, who he was just like, yeah, this is something I do for my girlfriend. So yeah,
Exactly.
that I think it just continues to build on the hey, you got your own jealousy you need to deal with, man. That's personal problems.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there is no update for that, so I mean, it is what it is. That's what we got. Let's take a look at our next story. All right, this next story comes from TIFU. Today I messed up by enraging the parents of my girlfriend by pretending to not know what a potato is.
What title is that? Bro's gonna mess up a family relationship by rage baiting.
Oh, this already off the bat, this is a great title. All right. Let me tell you, I have made a bad mistake this evening. My girlfriend, who, let me tell you, is my second girlfriend of all time, said that I am invited to dinner with her and her parents. I was very aghast, nervous, and bashful to be invited to such a situation, but I knew it must be done. I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in a good way. The idea slapped my mind that I should do a comedic bit to make a good impression and become known to them as a person who's amusing. When I saw that baked potatoes were served, I got the idea that it would be very good if I pretended I did not know what potatoes were, that it would be funny. Well, let me tell you, it backfired on my face. And I'll tell you how. First, when the potato became on my plate, when the potato became on my plate, I acted very interesting. I showed an expression on my face as to seem that I was confused, astounded to be curious and interested in it. They noticed and seemed confused, but didn't make a remark. So I asked, "This looks very interesting. What is it?" They stared at me, and the mother said, "It's a baked potato." And I was saying, "Oh, interesting. A baked what is it again?" And she said, "Potato." And I was like, "A potato? Oh, interesting. I've never heard of a potato. Looks pretty good." And then they didn't see I was clowning, but thought I really did not know what a potato was. So I knew I would be very shamed, humiliated, depressed, and disgusted if I admitted to making a bad joke. So what I did was to act as if it was not a joke, but I committed to the act of pretending I didn't know what a potato was. They asked me very incredulously, which I really didn't know what a potato was, that I'd never heard of it, that I went and told them yes, that I'd never even heard of a potato before. I've never eaten a potato, and I'd never heard the word potato. This went on for a bit, and my girlfriend was acting very confused and embarrassed by my messed up antics, and was more insistent that I was about not knowing what a potato was when their parents started thinking I did know what a potato was. Well, let me tell you, I had to commit 100% at this point. When I would not admit to knowing what a potato was, the father especially began to get annoyed. At one point, he said something like, "Enough is enough. You're messing with me. Admit it." And I said, "Sir, before today, I had never heard of a potato. I still don't know what a potato is, other than some kind of food. I don't know what to tell you." Well, let me tell you, he got very annoyed. I decided to take one bite of the potato, and when I did, I made a high pitched noise and said, "Tastes very strange."
This is stupid.
That is when the father started yelling at me, and the mom kept saying, "What are you doing?" My girlfriend just went in some other room. Finally, the father said,
Oh.
"Get out of my house." And I said it was irrational to treat me like this just because I'd never heard of a potato before. Well, let me tell you, he didn't take to that kindly. Now in text messages, I've been telling my girlfriend I really don't know what a potato is. The only way I could ever get out of this is for them to buy that I don't know what a potato is. I wish I'd never started it, but I can't go back. I think she's gonna break up with me anyway.
That's awful. Oh man, I don't know what a potato is. Oh
I,
man, I'm stuck in
okay,
this stuck in this loop.
I can't imagine your joke bombing so bad that you were like, "Oh, I gotta commit. I'm stuck in this now."
He doubled down,
Oh,
dude. That's why would you do, dude? Just take the L and
I
walk,
I
man.
would have just been like, "All right, I was trying to be funny. It didn't work. I'm sorry." Oh my gosh, that's so
Oh my
funny.
gosh. And
Oh
now he's got to deal with it. I
oh
need an update from this. Oh,
oh.
this is 11 years ago. I don't know. We're getting
Yeah,
an update.
yeah, there is. I highly doubt that. That is wow. Um, I don't even know what you do to that. They're like
Yeah,
this far in.
cooked.
This far in, I'm like, I just think you have to tell your whole family that we are not potato eaters, that we don't know what a potato is at all. Um,
Do you think they got married and then like it was like a talking point at their wedding? They were
I,
like, "Man,
I
I
hope
remember
so.
when
This
you
guy,
first showed me what this was."
yeah, I'm like, this guy is funny. Yeah, I'm like,
Or lack thereof.
it's like, I don't know if you should marry him, but you should definitely keep him around. All right, let's take a look at some comments. His first comment says, "You need to commit 100% to this now. Invest in a religion. Perhaps an obscure offshoot of Romantic Catholicism formed after the Irish potato famine that eschews potatoes in all their forms. Create a Wikipedia page. Find a passage in the Bible that supports it. Reveal all of this to your girlfriend's family as though you have just found it yourself. Tell them that you went home and asked your parents about it, and they sat you down and told you that you were part of this religion and that have raised you in observance of these tenets. Then you can roll your eyes and act like your parents are the weirdest, most embarrassing people on earth for putting you in this situation. Oh, and they told you French fries were made of bread because it was the one indulgence they allowed. Never let your parents or her parents meet unless
Oh
they have
my
been briefed
gosh.
and and can be trusted to dive in on any grenades."
It's gonna be a whole family line. It's gonna be like, dude, this is the greatest bit ever.
I mean, that's all you could do is just like, I gotta shoe in the whole family on this. Everybody's got to get in on this. We are never potato eaters. We can't do French fries. We can't do anything. We have never heard of this. Oh my goodness.
That's awful. When confronted about this horrible joke, insist it never happened with the same level of commitment. Maybe they'll just think you have a brain disorder. Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
that's the only other way you
that
could
is
take it.
also so funny to think about.
Deny,
Oh my
deny, deny,
gosh.
deny.
Dude,
It never happened.
if you came over to my house and we ate dinner together and you told a joke that bombed and then we had a big conversation about it and then we come back like next week and we meet again and you act like this never happened, I would be so scared. I was
Dude,
like, who's in
that's
my
like
house?
No, better yet, it's like, "Oh, yeah, dude, I know what a potato is. What are you talking about?"
Oh
Make them feel
no.
I did, yeah, I mean, and then go down the list of potato recipes you know how to make. They'll never understand it. They'll think they're going
Uh,
crazy.
that dad will jump across the table and strangle you.
Strangle you.
It's like, I cannot believe this kid. Oh my goodness. But yeah, there's no update on that. So that's all we got there. Oh,
That's awful.
all right. Well, let's take a look at our next story. Our next story comes from TIFU. Today I messed up by throwing my steak out a window. Last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated many times just how important it is that we make a good impression. I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I always make good impressions. My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it would just be the three of us. We chit chatted over drinks and salads, and it seemed to be really hitting off. She laughed at my well timed, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. Soon she brought out the main course, a big, nice, juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover how undercooked this steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I could have
Ooh.
probably resuscitated the cow if I tried. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was going to get away with not eating the steak. Claim veganism? No, I'd already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing the steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at an open window of this 3-story apartment, a cartoon light bulb appeared in my head. I knew I had to be
No.
decisive. Realizing that she could return at any moment, I committed. I grabbed the steak with my hand, gently shook off the juice, and executed a perfect throw right through the center of the open window. Here's the
Yeah.
big time mess up. The window wasn't open. This was the cleanest freaking
Oh.
window you have ever seen in your life. That is, until my mostly raw slab of meat slammed up against it and slowly sit down, leaving a trail of bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was a nice medium rare and was unaware of my predicament, turned, jaw dropped, and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. This look then slowly morphed into more of there is no place on this planet you could ever hide from me expression, demonic of anger.
Cooked. Unlike
My
the
wife's
steak, but
my wife's boss heard the thud of the steak on the window impact and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the blood trail, my empty plate, and then gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like a minute of silence, but was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could manage was, I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. I don't know. I was I was just cutting it and it slipped. Just ask my wife. I'm really a klutz, right, honey? No help from that direction at all.
Oh, no.
I will clean this up. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry, etc., etc. Both women continued to stare at me like I had escaped from the loony bin as I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted off the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent explanation. I knew no one was buying this story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat every bite of that disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody raw steak. I I remained pretty quiet for the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident were, "I'm fine." TLDR, tried to sneakily throw my undercooked steak through an open window, only to find out it wasn't open. Edit. Thank you, kind Redditors. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, dude. That
Oh,
that is awful. About just hearing thump.
Oh,
It's just like the flap of the ground. Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm sorry. There's two
okay.
sides to this, right? Like one, the dude had to eat a raw steak, which is unfortunate. And sometimes that is that's required action. Sometimes drastic times take for drastic measures. However, is it not that hard to not feel a draft coming from the window? Who opens and just leaves their window open? Gosh, dude.
Uh, okay. So there was immediately something that went into my mind about this is like, if this is like, if he got a raw steak and his first instinct is not to tell the person who made it, like, hey, there's something wrong with my steak, so that way they
Yeah.
can go throw it back in. The fact that his first instinct was immediately like, I'm gonna Batman my way out of this situation, and I
Yes.
clocked the I'm like, what does this guy get into on his daily? Like,
Dude,
how stupid is this guy?
Redditors are a different
Yeah,
breed,
I'm
man.
like,
I'm
that is
telling
that
you.
is next level idiot. Oh my
All it
gosh.
took would have been like, hey, so I actually kind of like mine a little bit more medium than rare. Is there any way that we could throw this back on the oven for just a few more minutes? And I'm sure that would have been fine, but no.
I would
I'm happy he committed to tossing the steak at the window.
Yeah, I would have immediately blamed my wife. Oh, I'm like, she threw it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
My
To her
wife
to,
bet me $10.
sorry, I had a fan duel on whether or not I should throw my steak out the window. Ugh.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness. All right, let's look at some comments. This first comment says, one question for you, OP. Let's say the window was open and the steak is gone. She returns a minute later. What do you tell her? Just that you devoured it?
That's
That's
exactly what I was
you
thinking
know,
too. Here's
that
another
is,
raw
yeah.
steak.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably worse. Well, not worse. It definitely isn't
Exactly.
worse because there's blood on her
Oh
walls.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
like, it's
that is
definitely up there with weird. If I like, I was like, oh, let me go make sure that the cookies are cooking in an oven like they're supposed to. And the second you walk back out, there was no steak. I'd be like,
yeah.
I'd be like, are you okay?
Oh my
That's
gosh.
that is so funny.
Oh, dude, hold on.
Uh,
There's an update. Just got the first post. I'm fine. Communication from my wife via text, who's at work. And then good news, boss's name, and I had just had a good laugh of how much of a freaking idiot you are. Hope you know you'll never live this down. Love you, moron. So at least his wife isn't
yeah, yeah. At least
planning his defeat.
Yes, and at least it isn't like all right, you need to look for a new job. I cannot be around you and your husband. At least the boss was like, all right, yeah, you're just an idiot, and you
Oh
married an
my
idiot.
gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
ugh, that is so funny to me. Why on earth would like throwing the steak be like the move? I'm I'm so lost at that. Ugh.
What exactly was your end game here? Were you planning to sneak back onto her property late at night to remove the stake? Or were you just hoping she'd see it and think she got a. Well, the thing is, though, it was a third story building. So, like, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
a third story
Someone gets
building.
hit on the head with
Yes,
a steak.
yes, you could totally knock somebody out with that steak. He probably got saved by the bell. That could have been really bad. Or imagine this. All right. He throws it out of her window. What he doesn't
Mhm.
know is that behind her apartment building is the parking lot where all the cars park. And it's her car that's right underneath her window.
Oh,
If he would have
no.
threw it and then left, and then she would have been like, why is there a stick on my windshield?
Someone's walking by. Oh, man, this feels good tonight. Somebody could have their window open. What's that?
Oh, that's a steak.
Ah!
Ugh.
Oh my gosh, that's
All
stupid.
right. Well, that was a fun little story. Let's get on to our last story for today. All right, our last story it comes from True Off My Test,
Man.
but was reposted onto Relationship Advice, which was then reposted onto Best of Redditor Updates. So we got quite a long one. My 42 female husband, 42 male, has informed me he intends to go on a gaycation with his brother in law, 35 male, in Ibiza. How do I handle this? Hi there. I really wish I didn't have to make this post, but here goes. So, me and my husband have been happily married for about 16 years, give or take. We both have stable careers, good family life, and are fairly fortunate despite the cost of living racking up the UK right now. We have two boys, one 15 and one 10, and up till this Sunday, I thought we had it pretty good. We argue sometimes, of course, but it's never gotten too bad, and we still had a decent sex life with some exploration, but I won't get into that. Long story short is, on Sunday, just after I dropped off our boys at their friends, my husband asked if we could have the house alone, and more importantly, do I have a minute? I said yes, and he sat me down and then got out this printed poster for some sort of orgy and started explaining to me the concept of a gaycation. How it how it's where some straight men go to somewhere with sun-sanded booze and become gay for the duration of the trip. But that's fine because it doesn't actually count. Because what happens on the gaycation stays on the gaycation.
Oh my gosh. What happens on the
Gay-
gaycation stays in the gaycation.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh. Um, I was just completely silent and mortified. Even more so when he said he was looking into booking a trip to Ibiza next year with his brother-in-law, his sister's husband, to experience it himself. When he finally let me speak, I just said, "I need him to be clear with me. Are you gay? Because if yes, that's okay, but we need to figure out what happens going forward." I didn't let myself get angry or upset. I was just stunned. He swore up and down that he's not gay and he's 100% attracted to women. And of course, he still loves me and our boys. So I said, "Well, do you think maybe you're bi?" Or he got very defensive, saying that I need to drop the accusations and that this is the beauty of the gaycation because it allows straight men to experience gayness without actually being gay. And it's like going to an aquarium.
Oh my gosh.
What? Okay.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
and again, he was adamant he does not find men's body or genitalia exciting at all, but he needs to experience this apparently. I said, "Well, I'm not comfortable because even if he was bi, this would be explicitly cheating on me." And he got very angry and reiterated he's not because it's the beauty of the gaycation, etc. I just had enough and left the room. I ignored him for the rest of the day, but we spoke at tea, where again I asked him, why does he want to do this so badly if he's not gay? And he said he's just interested in how gay men's life differ to straight men, and that unfortunately, once the gaycation begins, it's simply impossible for a man to resist, and he must surrender himself, mind, body, and soul to the gaycation or be destroyed.
What does that mean?
What? Okay,
Oh
so
my
what
gosh.
does that mean to be destroyed?
Imagine having a conversation with your wife and she's just like, "Oh man, I really love our family that we've built. I want to have a gaycation with
Yeah,
my brother-in-law.
gaycation time, gaycation time.
You don't understand.
Oh my
I'm going to
gosh.
be destroyed if I don't give my soul and body."
Yeah, but I'm confused. Are the men gonna like tear you apart limb from limb? Are they gonna like
I
are they are
don't
they, are,
know,
are
man.
they gonna come get you at night or like I don't know. All
Okay.
right. I really can't put into words how surreal it was because he was speaking so matter of factly and he again insists that this is a thing that straight men do all the time and now he's actually doing it a bit late. I just said to him that if he has any love for me, that he can't go ahead with this, and if he does, the marriage will be dead. We didn't speak any more after that. Since then, he's mentioned no more of it, but somehow, this is what scares me a lot too. That decision genuinely seemed to be tearing him up. He didn't go into work on Monday and only went in half a day yesterday because he told them that he just felt too ill and he just looks distraught every time I see him. I really don't think he's wholly gay though, and I can absolutely believe he's bi, but I'd rather we talk about it in a healthy way rather than this incredibly weird denialism that's around going on a sex holiday to Ibiza. Has anyone known straight guys to do this and come back and just go back to being straight? Like, surely that can't be a thing that happens. I'm so out of my depth here, and I just don't know how to even initiate the conversation. For the record, I also haven't mentioned it to his sister yet. I don't know how I'd even break it to her. Thanks for any help. I just don't know. I just don't even want to think about. So being able to get this out there has been helpful for even just a little bit. Small edit for this first one. Wow, this blew up. This has been incredibly sobering, and I think I've confirmed what I already knew to be the case. The marriage is dead one way or another.
Oh,
In a way, I was dealing with in denial myself. I have contacted my sister-in-law, and she initially screamed at me, calling me a liar, and even insinuated I was trying to steal her husband. She rang me back shortly, apologized, and admitted she was in deep, deep shock. I've asked my parents to look over the boys, and we're going tomorrow to discuss this in deeper detail. I have also texted my husband and told him that he's going to need to make alternative accommodation arrangements because he will not be sleeping here tonight, and a bag will be waiting for him. Not sure if the mods want to lock this post or not, but I think I got my answers. Thank you for all the kind words, especially Champion Flight, who really gave me the good dose of reality that I needed. P.S. I see a lot of people asking about the aquarium and the risk of doxing myself. It's a pretty famous aquarium in the UK called the Deep. At the very end, you walk through a tunnel that goes underneath the main fish tank, so it's quite immersive, I suppose. My husband explained the aquarium thing, and it's like a bit like that. You go in there, you observe the fishes, you even get a little bit up close, but you never actually enter the water, get emotionally invested, or become a fish. Parentheses gay.
gosh.
So it doesn't really count. It was a very bizarre analogy, and I pointed it out that it still makes no sense, and he just got more into a huff and how I just don't get it, and frankly, I still don't. All right, so that aquarium comment, I'm like, what?
Why he had to have been cooking that junk up because he would just whip that thing out. A whole analogy like that.
Okay, for
Mm,
me, it's one of two things. Either he has been cooking on this and is coming up with the idea for a long time, or number two, which is this is arguably the worst one. Somebody else used that analogy on him, and he liked it, or he was interested in the idea. I mean, think about it. Somebody was like, he's like, yeah, man,
yeah.
like, come on, you could join us, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's just like it's just like the aquarium, man. You come close, but you know you're not actually gay. Don't worry about it,
Oh,
brother.
oh my gosh. I was just like, I don't know how on earth you would be able to with a straight face tell your wife that I'm going to cheat on you by going on a sex vacation to Ibiza. Because what happens on the gaycation stays at the gaycation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, no. You don't understand. You don't understand. It's not
It's
that I'm
like
cheating on you. It's a gaycation. You gotta understand,
it's
right?
like you're missing out. You're missing the point. I'm like, what on earth? Oh my
No, dude.
gosh.
Trust.
Well, I'm glad that in the edits she's like, are immediately like, oh yeah, no, me and him are not getting along. But
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, I wonder what the kids think. What?
oh my gosh! Imagine having to tell your kids that. Yeah,
Your
dad
father
left us
wanted to
because
be in
he
the gaycation.
because he wanted to go on a gaycation. Oh no! Oh no! What if the boys got older and dad was telling them about his gaycations? Oh no!
No,
Oh no!
nah.
Oh, I've dug a hole for myself I shouldn't have dug into. That's terrible to
Oh
think about.
man.
Oh. Well, let's look at some comments for the original post. His first
Okay.
comment says, your husband isn't proposing a gaycation. He's proposing cheating on you with men while using the magical thinking to pretend it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
The fact that he's planning this with his sister's husband makes this even more disturbing. His bizarre explanation about surrendering mind, body, and soul isn't straight man curiosity. It's someone desperately trying to justify exploring his sexuality while trying to keep his heterosexual marriage. His depression about not being able to go isn't about the vacation. It's about being forced to confront his sexuality without his convenient what happens in Ibiza stays in Ibiza excuse. His meltdown over not going shows how desperately he wants to avoid facing this reality. OP responded to that saying, I read this over multiple times, and I guess the worst part is I know you're completely right. Ooh,
Mm.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Uh yeah, that's a hard one to face. Imagine you have a happy family, you got kids, think you have a good husband, and out of nowhere it's just like, hey, I'm going to drop some crazy knowledge.
Oh my
God
gosh. And
dang.
because
Just
that's
a
what it
bombshell.
because that's what it was for her. Like she was going to work, and then her husband was like, "Hey, can you come in here and she talked to me for a little bit?" That's a huge bombshell, and they're both 42 years old, so they're older.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like
Like
they're young.
if
And
if you were 24, 25, wouldn't be like batting an eye at this. I'd just be like, okay, the guy's an idiot. He got too far in, but like 42 is a lot.
and what it said that the kid was like 10 years old, right? Like one
His
of the kids was 10 years old.
his oldest is 15 and his youngest is
Oh,
10. So I'm
16,
like,
yeah, 16 years.
yeah. So I'm
Gosh,
like,
16 years
oh
of
my
marriage.
gosh. I don't know how you could go 16 years and be like, I don't know. I think I may like men. I feel like after 16 years, I think you know. I think you know
It
well in that.
maybe that's why he believed that no. I'm still straight. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I just want to feel a guy.
Yeah, that's so odd. Um, somebody else commented something that we don't see about OP considering the divorce, and OP responded to that saying that I wanted to avoid the divorce option, but I guess it is the only option for me. The second comment says, so this is just a thought, but I wonder if he's really planning on doing the gaycation or if it's just a cover up to try and get you to agree to that idea. What if the real plan was to get with some women while he's down there? OP responds to that one saying, I had never really thought of that, to be honest, but now the thought terrifies me. From the way he was talking about men, the fact that he had a poster for a gay orgy, I mean, that's one sure way to push a getter a bluff. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not bluffing that. I would
Nah.
just say that any man that's gonna pull up a poster, he wants it.
My question is, where did bro get the poster? Like, did he
That's
print it off or?
that's was it given the poster? Is it like
Yeah, gave him the poster.
is it a 9 by 11 sheet of paper or is it like an actual poster?
Yeah, yeah. Oh no! Don't worry. I saw it and I control printed. Wait, you're telling me you used our colored ink to print the gaycation
The
poster?
gaycation on this? Yeah, you're wasting our printer for this? We got one more
Oh my
comment here. This
god!
last comment says, "Tell him that you're gonna have a straightcation while he's gone, and you're gonna have to surrender mind, body, and soul to other men. Honestly, if my husband proposed this to me, I'd use his time away to pack up, move out, and have the divorce papers waiting on him." Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, this wouldn't go anywhere further than that. I'm like, all right, you are just asking me to cheat on me, and I'm not cool with that.
yeah. No,
But luckily, we got a huge giant update, a whole lot
long
of things to
update.
read.
Holy.
Ooh. So when I last posted, I contacted my husband to tell him that he would not be staying at my house tonight and a bag would be waiting on him. As you can imagine, we argued quite badly. I won't go into the specifics details, but I am 100% on board with the fact that at minimum he is bi, might even be gay altogether. We had arguments in the past, but I've genuinely never seen him in such a childish tantrum before. Screaming about how I just don't understand the gaycation, parentheses, absolutely despise that phrase now, and insinuating that I'm actually homophobic because I refuse to allow him to participate in this cultural exchange with the gay
Oh
community.
my gosh. Dude, you're homophobic? Really? You don't want to break up the 16-year relationship because you
Yeah,
want you don't want to allow me to cheat on you with a dude?
yeah,
With my brother-in-law.
guys, instead of going to the pride parade in my local city, I'm just gonna go have orgies with the gay groups in Ibiza. That's how I'm gonna get my cultural exchange. Like what?
Gosh.
Well, that is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Uh,
Uh,
uh, a lot of you said to ask him if it'd be acceptable for the roles were reversed, and I did say that it would be acceptable if I went. And I did say, would it be acceptable if I went and slept with other guys during that week? And like clockwork, he was very angry and offended, saying that it was completely different because a gaycation means nothing, and what happens on the gaycation stays on the gaycation, etc. So it doesn't count. Whereas I just say I would just be straight up cheating. Well, I turn it around on him. No, but you see what happens when in Manchester stays in Manchester. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't count. It's like bird watching. And I think that got through to him because he went all quiet and started crying, admitting the thought of me sleeping with another man is destroying his heart. But relationships need sacrifices, so agreed. While in tears, that's that's when he goes on the gaycation. I'll get 1 week in Manchester to do whatever I want. He doesn't want me to, but that's fair in a twisted way he's supposed. I told him to get out of my house, and thankfully he left without a fight. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that is awful. That is
Oh.
despicable. J- whatever happened to a relationship being between like two people, or like at least it being sacred or understood?
It's
Bro's
man.
like, I guess you're right.
This man legit said me having to experience this gaycation is worth seeing my wife get railed by another dude, and I'm just gonna have to live with that. And I'm like,
See,
what? What?
all right, I gotta give him credit though. He stood on his logic, bro. As flawed as it is, he stood on logic.
That is fair. He did stand up to it. So I mean I'm not mad at him because he did admit that, like, okay, no, no, you bring up a good point. I'll give you that. All right. Well, it keeps
The
going.
wife's the wife's action was 100% appropriate.
Oh
Get
yeah.
out of my
Yeah,
house.
get out. Yeah, sorry. Goodbye. All right. It continues. I know it's incredibly petty, but I also drained the joint bank account, which is legal in the UK. So he couldn't try and use it against me. About an hour later, I got ranged up by his mom, my mother in law, who just screamed and screamed at me about me being a cheating wife, how I was horrible and the kids and all the things, etc. When I finally got my composure back, I just said to ask your son about the gaycation. Obviously, at first she got angry, but I said, no, just ask him about the gaycation. He'll explain, but she called me a joke and hung up. Later on, getting into the evening, I got another phone call from her in floods of tears. She was very apologetic, and I told her she doesn't need to be the one to apologize. She was so upset, she put father in law on the phone, who was, while he sounded calm, I could just sort of tell he was on the warpath. Again, very apologetically, he said he had overheard the phrase. As to my husband, and husband initially said, "No, it's nothing," before explaining, "It's a modern thing. It's a modern thing that men do," etc., and gave them the same spiel about what happens at the gaycation. Men cannot resist the gaycation. How a man should surrender to the gaycation. Father-in-law just said that that they told him to leave or they call the police. Don't care where he goes, but he can't stay there. Husband tried calling me while I was on the phone, but I ignored it. And father-in-law just said he was so sorry for me and that they have my corner in this. And so that's one thing. Told them to be there for their daughter because it sounds like brother-in-law is involved. Husband didn't tell them that. And
Mm.
father-in-law just said he had to go because he was so angry. I got a text from my husband after the phone call, which was very weirdly rambly, saying how I'd abused the gaycation to destroy his marriage and destroy his
What?
life. And again, insinuated I and his parents were homophobic for doing such a thing. Told him we'll talk when he grows up and blocked his number. I took a day off work myself to have the locks changed this morning, so that's another 500 euros gone. But whatever. At least I know that he won't be coming back. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 500 pounds. I'm gonna look into
Oh.
how to proceed with the divorce, and we'll move on from there. Oh, of course. There's also the brother-in-law. So I haven't yet met with sister-in-law. She is in such a state and has taken over far, far worse than I have for reasons that'll be very clear soon.
Oh
We're gonna
no.
try tomorrow, but we did talk over the phone, and I eavesdropped on the conversation with her husband, where she put her phone on speaker, and I went on mute. Her family got home earlier. She made him her husband got home earlier. She made him come home, told him it was an emergency, and just said to him, "Can you please explain what a gaycation is?" She told me
Ooh.
afterwards she was praying he looked confused or just like what or anything like that. But instead he just sat her down and explained that a gaycation is a new thing where straight men go to gay hotspots and participate in gay sex acts, but doesn't actually count because there's no investment. And because what happens on the gaycation stays on the gaycation. He said it like it's writing down angry thoughts and putting them on a drawer. You never have to see them again. Whole time, sister-in-law is in tears as he calmly bats off the same points my husband did about how it doesn't count and how the whole thing is impossible to resist and you must surrender it or be destroyed. Seriously, I think they may have been speaking to a dominatrix or something, but surely none of them are into this to actually make that up
No.
their own. I really don't want to go into what was discussed for her sake, but it did become very apparent to me that the brother-in-law is into sissy hypno porn and at time conflated with the concept of a gaycation. There was this utterly surreal moment where sister-in-law is just trying to wrap her head around this while also in floods of tears, and he explains so genuinely, so matter-of-factly that for most men, the gaycation is either a one-time or an annual thing, but for some men, go on the gaycation for years, and others simply never return because they use hypnosis and mind control to be totally feminized into a state of permanent pseudo-gayness.
What? Bro's got a PhD in the gaycation. Oh.
Ins- Instead of bro saying that they go and they realize they like it and so they just keep coming back, or they go and they love it so much that this is just something they do now. The fact that he had to like come up with some excuse on how it's not his fault. Oh my
Here, stare
gosh.
at this swinging watch. You are gay.
You're gay
You are
now.
gay. See, it's
Welcome.
not my fault. I was only going the one time, but
They caught me. They caught me at a bad time. Dude, the hypno classes, they were really cool looking.
Oh my god.
He said I had
What
to
are
do
we
it to get in the
doing?
room.
I'm
Alright.
stuck and trapped here.
She said in disbelief, surely if you're taking it up the butt willingly because you want to, that makes you gay. And he said no, because that's the beauty of the gaycation. You can do all this gay stuff, but you don't have to interact with the wider gay life experience. She asked him if the sissy stuff is what he wanted, and he said, not on a long-term basis, and was adamant that this was something that all straight men do, but she wouldn't get it because she's a woman. Then there are more insinuations of homophobia. Well, that marriage is dead too, I suppose. The whole ordeal ended when she said to him that he has a choice to make, and he said no. He doesn't need to make a choice because that's the beauty of the gaycation, is that it allows him to keep his marriage because it doesn't count. And she said that's not a choice. The choice is whether he's leaving the house that night or whether she is. Good thing he did. The only good thing he did was leave. Me and sister-in-law spoke about it after that, and I'm just still utterly stunned. I understand she's gone to her parents for support. What exactly do we do with our lives destroyed in such an abrupt, bizarre, embarrassing way? Per some advice, I'm going to look at devices and bank statements to see if we can get any definitive proof of cheating. After that, I suppose we're going to figure out how I tell the boys why their father won't be coming home. Edit. Spoke to the other sister-in-law. My husband's family is older sister, him, younger sister, the original sister-in-law. Okay. So this is the older sister we're talking about. And gave her a skimmed down version of it. She asked her husband, and thankfully he was deeply confused, but then mentioned about 2 years ago at a birthday party, he was approached by my husband and brother-in-law about signing up for some online boot camp around BDSM cross-dressing. He assumed that they were just messing with him, so he told them to leave him alone and never really thought about it. But the fact that this has been going on for that long makes me want to throw up. P.S. For the poster who said about divorce options, I'm actually going to look into adultery because plain and simple, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. It just keeps getting worse. Bro wanted to convince her because he was already knees deep in.
Yeah, so
That's
what tells me this is that it's definitely the husband and the brother-in-law have definitely been like sleeping together. That definitely
100%.
happened. But the fact that they almost got the oldest guy into this too is crazy.
And the fact that he thought he was joking is crazy.
If he legit didn't think they were joking and was just like, yeah, I think this would be funny, let's just mess around with it, he would have been involved in that too. They would have got him with the hypno glasses.
You are gay. You are gay.
You want a gaycation. You want a gaycation.
No. Because remember, what happens on the gaycation stays on the
Stays on the gaycation. You're absolutely right on that.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
That is crazy,
awful.
dude.
That is awful.
You really never know what's going on in someone else's family.
Man,
that's insane.
And that's why I'm like, you know what? Maybe my problems aren't so bad.
This John definitely happened.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not this guy who
man.
Who managed to not only destroy his own family, but to almost destroy his older sisters and to completely destroy his younger sister's family. I'm like, that is crazy.
Sheesh.
One decision that just ruined everything.
If my wife ever came up to me and she was like, "Hey, I need to do this," dude, I genuinely, I don't know how I would take that. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah,
all
I would
right,
immediately be like, all
so I
right,
guess we're gone.
yeah, on your way out, anything that you want to keep, I advise you take with you on your gaycation because it won't be here when you get back.
The locks are changed,
The locks
dude.
are changed. All your stuff is out on the curb. Oh my gosh, that is
I feel
crazy.
so bad for this family.
Oh, it's
Family
awful.
reunion's gotta be mad
Oh, that's
awkward.
gonna be so awkward when they all show
Mad
up.
awkward.
Oh,
Do you
well,
think, do you think gaycation is probably in their vocabulary now?
oh,
Just, like,
100%.
constantly? Like, "Hey,
Oh,
you remember when my ex was, like, talking about the gaycation?"
oh my gosh. She probably hears the word vacation and gets like
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, she's like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, no, dude.
Uh, well, we got one more comment just from a random commenter. Your husband and brother-in-law are deep in a shared delusion that destroyed two families. Their identical talking points about surrender and destruction prove that this was coordinated. They're not just planning to cheat, they're already involved in some community that's warped their thinking. The fact that they both instantly launched into the same script about gaycation shows that this isn't spontaneous. You made the right call draining the accounts and changing the locks. Their attempts to flip this into accusations of homophobia shows how desperately they're trying to avoid responsibility. The identical language, the bizarre aquarium and birdwatching analogies, the talk of surrender or be destroyed. They're in some online echo chamber that's completely divorced from reality. When your husband agreed to let you have a Manchester week while crying, he revealed the whole lie. He knows exactly what this is cheating. He just wants permission to do it while denying you the same. The talk of hypnosis and permanent feminization reveals how far this goes. Get a lawyer, protect your assets, and document everything. This will get worse before it gets better. Focus on protecting yourself and your children because they've gone too far in their shared fantasy to see the destruction they're causing. What a pathetic hill for two men to die on. They're destroying their marriages, traumatized their families, and alienated their parents, all while insisting that none of it counts because they've made up special rules about it. They want to cheat without consequences, and they found an online community that validates this fantasy.
That's
Oh,
accurate.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that commenter said everything that I would have said. It's crazy that, how much warping can go on in someone's mind just by finding a community that enables it. It's awful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
guarantee you it happened on the same platform, Reddit, too.
well, and because it's an online community, that also makes me think that this isn't the only one who's experienced this, right? I can't imagine how many other
Oh,
UK families are like have gone through this where they have had their own gaycation conversation, and then this it wasn't it wasn't posted or popularized, so they have their own trauma about this, and they have no idea that this is something that other people have had to experience. That
mm,
is oh,
mm-mm-mm.
that is
That is
crazy.
unfortunate to think about.
Ugh,
I feel so bad for OP.
ain't that the truth?
I
Yeah,
I hope they're doing better now.
yeah, I hope her and the kids are doing better. This is from how many years ago? The original post came out 2 years ago. So
2024, yeah,
yeah,
2
so
years ago, so it's still fairly
it's still
fresh.
kind of fresh. So she's still probably going through like the aftermath of the divorce and splitting things up. And the kids haven't even graduated like high school yet.
Oh,
Like they're they're still like 17 now. So
God forbid anybody at school figures out about the gaycation.
oh my gosh. Here's the thing. They probably posted this story and it definitely got around. It definitely got
Oh, it
around.
definitely
Because
got
I mean,
around.
because like people are gonna talk about like, oh, hey Jim, why isn't your dad coming to pick you up like normal? Oh, I don't know. Or if he had
Ooh.
already been told about the gay. All right, think about this step. Your wife has told you about this gaycation, and you split up and you have the kids. Do you tell your kids about the gaycation? How long do you go before you tell them?
They would my thing is, right, is it would, one, come out of, like, sheer anger when I'm talking to them, and they would have to be adults at this point. Like, at least, like, 18, but that would be way, I don't even know, but it would be out of rage at that point, or, like, when they're moving out and then they come over, it's like, "Man, dude, I really just I wish I had more clearance on dad's leaving. Son, let me introduce you to the gaycation."
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, man.
that's what I'm thinking in my brain. I think like right now, I would tell him, hey, dad's not gonna be around because he cheated on me. He cheated on me with another dude, or just cheated on me with somebody else. I would just say
Yeah.
that because a kid can understand that. It sounds
Yeah.
horrible, but a kid can understand that. But then when they're older and they're like, "Hey, what really happened between you and dad?" Then you can be like, "Have you ever heard of a gaycation before? Let me tell you
Uh,
something." And then she tells him the story, and then the son's like, "I want a gaycation." And
the
then and
wonder is though, oh my gosh,
oh,
dude. It's awful, man. That's awful. See, the thing is too, is I'm sure the gaycation like didn't even exist. It was just straight up something like they were trying to cover up for like, okay, well we're already this deep in. What if we like figure out a way to just make a weekend for us? And if they accept it, do they accept it?
but
I
that
don't
that
know.
that is
That's
that's a really good
unfortunate.
point because I didn't think about that either. The actual idea of a gaycation could have been invented by the husband and the brother-in-law,
Mm.
but they created that idea to kind of rationalize wanting to go to those gay orgies that they were seeing on those websites or whatever.
Yeah, because
Huh.
firstly, I've never heard of the gaycation, but
Yeah.
and then I'm sure that online one of them brought up the thing to the online forum, they're like, yes, this seems like a reasonable way to explore yourself, and also with the side effect of ruining two families.
Ugh. But yeah, that's that story, and that's all
Uh,
our stories for today. Ooh,
yeah,
that's a rough one to end on.
that's one to leave on,
Yeah,
man.
that is one to leave on. Well, I thank you for coming along. Do you have anywhere that you would like to share of where people can find you at?
Oh man, well, I make music. So if you go on Spotify or any other kind of music streaming service, I am Remove the Blindfold, all one word, and should have some more music coming out soon. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
awesome, and we'll have that link down in the description for you guys too as well. Well, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy your Valentine's Day and your fun stories about your gaycations, and we'll catch you guys later.
And remember, what's happened on the gaycation stays on the gaycation.